Nhà sống xong chia cho bé giờ viên dạo, ở vai chỉ trâu cho nên cho cái lú cho bé số linh số tù, nửa bố bé nhỏ xong cú lọ đâu xong chia. Thọ của chuyện yêu của nhẹ nhàng tới hiện, thế thì yêu họ mà mình nhiều hết yêu họ là yêu gì thế yêu họ lười chỉ trong cái lý chỉ mới sẽ hơi nhẹ tới lại, lúc xong ta nó của tuần sai nữa họ mới nói yêu nữa họ nhẹ nhàng tới thế chỉ ý nhẹ tới ok, ý họ nhẹ to đi yêu lo cổ phong tới ở linh. So cô nó cô yêu khe cho tê dạo cô cỡ to để cho nó khó ý nhận. I want to share 5 lessons, overarching themes that we learned about stories. The first theme that we learned about is that everyone has a story. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." How amazing is it that God knew us and God had a story ready for each of us. And I just want to share that with all of us, that what is your story? What is your story saying? And what is your story sharing? The second lesson that I learned from my daughter was there's always a main character vibe. Each story has a main character. And it reminds me of Jeremiah 29:11. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." How amazing it is that God has a great plan for you. My question for you is this: are you the main character in your story, or are you playing the supporting role? Just remember that God has a plan for you, and He has that plan for you to be that main character. The third lesson is this: there is something about the turning of the page or the chapter. This year is just like that. It is a new year. It is a new opportunity for all of us to turn the page, to turn the chapter. It reminds me of our theme of Rise Up and our verse for this year. Isaiah 43:19 says, "Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." How amazing is it that God wants us to be the main character and that He is wanting to make something new this year in all of us if we are willing to rise up. The fourth lesson is this: we have an opportunity to encourage each other. John 15:12-13 says, "My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." It is amazing that each of us has our own story, but yet God intersects and brings all of our stories together, and we have an opportunity to be a small part and maybe a small slither in somebody else's story, to encourage them, to love them, to show God's love to them. And I encourage all of us to rise up and take those opportunities. Lastly, my last lesson is this: Jesus is the constant. He is the theme. He is the main part that brings us all together in our entire story. Joshua 1:9 tells us, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." How amazing is it that He is our constant, and He is the theme that will be carrying us throughout our entire life. I encourage all of us to take a look and reflect as we start this new year of saying, what is my story? Am I the main character of my story? And this new year, as I turn this new chapter, how can I rise up? How can I rise up and be an encouragement to others, to share God's love to others, and to be reminded that no matter what happens in my life, that Jesus is my constant. He is always with me wherever I go. I thank you for your time. Know that we are thinking of you and praying for you. God bless. Thank you.